we got a little late. Really apologies. We're not usual late Latifs. Um, Thanks, Anshul. And Vishal, that was a great introduction. I'm very humbled. Firstly, thank you for thinking about us. I think we go beyond just being friends. I think we, you know, like what we both do, appreciate what we both do. I think being good, kind, humble human beings is our first mission in life, our first purpose and goal in life. And I've really never been in the eye of media. I'm still called Malika when my name is Malaika. And I'm kind of like to be being unknown still, right? I mean, what's in a name? But yeah, I still can walk around and no one recognizes me, and I love that. So I do have a lot of my privacy. Yeah, so I think it's quite easy. You have a choice whether you want to be in the eye of the storm, media, however you want to name it, or you can still have your privacy because there's a thin line, right, between how much you want to share of your life and how much you're okay and willing to let people know. And I think we as humans, I think all of us are capable of doing it. There's nothing special about it, or there's no textbook or no kind of, oh, I've got it all right. I'm still learning. I make my mistakes. And, there's fun about everything. I mean, all of us are celebrities in our own rights, right? So, yeah.
I think you're making it sound a lot less effort than it really is, because it is a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort to be a power couple like this and still have your own space and still, really support each other. So
I'm humble.
You are very much.
Firstly, thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Achal. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real honor and a pleasure to be here. International Women's Day, so we were just having some chitter-chatter on the way to the elevator, Vishal and me. And we said, do we still live in a 50-50 world where, it's husband 50 and wife 50? Or is it 60-40? I said, man, after kids, even if it's 90-10, it's really good. Because, quite honestly, I think one of the most important things which I think women are not given enough credit for is something called domestic engineering. Okay? And I can tell you that if the house and the soul and the heart of the household is not in its right place, I don't think any of us have the guts to go and achieve anything we want out there in the real world. So I want to thank my wife for tolerating me because, it's a bit of a paradox actually to be in show business and at the same time not be ostentatious, You have to, be in the limelight, you have to, walk with panache, you've got to talk with confidence, you've got to know your stuff. But at the same time, that's the vulnerability that you're always protecting when you're outside. And it's all right to be vulnerable, it's all right to learn, it's all right to make mistakes. I think Mali and me, we were on our way here, and I was reading through what Achal had so sweetly written, 30 years. I was like, Mali, I don't feel that old, man. 30 years, it's just blink of an eye and it's just passed. And of course, there have been many speed breakers. And I think that's the lovely stuff of life, the fact that you do have your arguments, you do have your disagreements. And at the same time, we sort of realize that we are a team. And, there are certain verticals that I'm very good at, and there are certain verticals she's very good at, and we're just great sounding boards of each other. So thank you for tolerating me, Malaika.
And thank you for saving yourselves, because when he said 30 years, I started looking at myself in my little mirror and I said, is it time for Botox? Is it time for fillers? And he's like,
not at all. Not on you.
I would detest that. Not that I have any issue with it, but
you almost don't recognize half the celebrities and their recent pictures. Vis-a-vis what they used to look earlier. I had this question I prepared. I'm going to put it away because I'm really enjoying this and we are just going to go. as it goes. Childhood sweethearts almost, from a relationship perspective, a partnership perspective. I hate to say the word relationship and more partnership. How have you guys kept it together for so many years? And how have you kept the spark alive? The romance,
before
the
he
love.
starts talking over me, I'd just like to say,
Sure.
I think what's most important in any relationship is, and I tell people this, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's about your friends, your chosen family. I mean, I think what love at first sight meant is that, that feeling you get in your stomach, it's not about butterflies. It's about feeling comfort. It's about feeling joy. It's about feeling happiness. And, somewhere where you know that, here's somewhere I can just be myself. And, here's someone who's my mirror. Here's someone who checks me, who, is there when I'm down and out. We all are, talking about mental health and are we addressing it. So I think somewhere, I always tell this to my younger friends, and today I'm known in my group. I have friends who are over 50, some of them, and they say, Malaika, you're this little old soul. They call me Dadi Ma, by the way, because I that's what I tell people, that find someone it's not about butterflies in your stomach. It's about someone you just want to go, phew, finally, I can be myself.
I don't know about you, but I got butterflies in my stomach when I saw her. She just ignored me for the first couple of days. But when I really, contrary to the belief of love at first sight, all my sisters had like love marriages, and they used to be on these phone calls for hours. And I promised myself, I said, I'm never going to fall in love because it's just too much effort. And before you know it, I was at Cody, and I see this lady, right, her back is towards me, and she had lovely brown hair. And I was listening to a song called U2, Where the Streets Have No Name. And when she turned, it was like a Halo shampoo ad, for me at least. And I was zapped. I just felt that, that's the girl, man. That's the girl
Amazing.
I feel I can visualize myself be with for the rest of my life. And I had no idea who she was. I nudged a friend of mine. I said, hey buddy, who is she? He looks at me, he's like, don't forget it. She's dating somebody. I said, I didn't ask you whether she's dating somebody. I said, who is she? So then he goes, okay, she's Malaika, this and that. So yeah, for me, it was definitely, I have to say, very, very hard to get your attention. I had to I'll tell you a very interesting story, a very, very interesting story. So by the fourth time of trying to propose to her, I had almost given up. And I had kind of told a friend of mine who was a common friend, I said, can you introduce us, in some sort of way, because probably I don't have the courage enough, or she's not, giving me the vibe, or she's giving me the vibe, but then, women, you can't really get them all the time, what vibes they're giving. So we both were in environmental science class, and she was, I was like in environmental science class, and I was walking towards environmental science class, and she says hi to me, and I just freeze, because I'm thinking, did she say hi to me, or did she say hi to somebody behind me? So like I looked behind, and there was nobody behind. I was like, shit. I was like, she said hi to me. Now she's coming out of class, and I'm going into that class, and I'm doodling away thinking, I'm just telling myself, man, such an idiot, such an idiot, such an idiot. And then all of a sudden somebody knocks on the door, and this friend of hers, I didn't know that it was a friend of hers, called Ayaka. She says, oh, there's a phone call for Zayed from his father in the principal's office. At that time, of course, we didn't have mobile phones. So I literally came out of class, and there was a shoe flower, and I did like a Shah Rukh Khan to myself, like I picked up that shoe flower and I said, she loves me not. She loves me not. And I'm walking towards this principal's office, and then I hear a voice. And she says, hi. And I look and it's her, and she's sitting like a boss lady, you know, like literally like a boss lady. She's sitting out there, and I said, hi. She's like, what are you doing? I said, I just have a phone call from my father. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna come back immediately. She's like, no, that wasn't your father. That was me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, baby.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Now, you know, that's the kind of lady I want to be with. You know, that's the kind of girl I want to be with. So, yeah, that happened, and I think quite an interesting journey, like, kind of took place post that.
Time to make a movie on it.
Last thing left.
I love the way you keep referring to her as lady. That's also so rare. But I met Mali for the first time very recently, a couple of months ago, and I think the first thing that hit me about her was her innate spirituality and everything that you can just tell from energy when you meet someone. And do you think she's been that for you, your strong anchor, your coming home to somebody more grounded, or?
I might just look tough, but she's actually the tough one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's like emotionally extremely strong, and I think you know, that's so important in this world that we live in, because I mean, considering you're an actor, you know, you don't really have a 9-to-5 job, and your job is chemistry. To marry a lady who's got that kind of emotional strength and security makes me feel quite. I would say I'm deeply touched that I felt that I deserve this kind of love. And
So
there are times then, you know, where you face so many things on a day-to-day level. There are a lot of lovers, there are a lot of haters. You know, your family is constantly, you know, viewing things that are being said about you. Probably people don't know all of the truth, but when I come home, she looks at me, and I know everything is going to be all right. And she gives me that kind of support where it's like, man, it's untold, you know, there's no word for it. It's just, it makes me want to wake up every day in the morning and love her more and love my children more and go and do things that make us happy as a family, as a unit. And sometimes I'll fail, sometimes I'll succeed. And it doesn't matter, because, you know, failure and success are temporary. What matters is the moment, and how that moment is played out, you know, and how strong you have to be to deal with such moments. So, you know, we don't actually talk like this in front of each other, so she's might be finding a. You know,
Yeah, I'm actually laughing inside.
So I'm finding it really weird to like say these things.
See, this is why I'm a good relationship coach.
If you want Zayed to confess anything, now's the time.
There you go.
Not to undermine, you know, heart and the wonderful people that we are, but Mali, for you, Zayed is an extremely good-looking man, and out in the media, out in the world. How do you deal with, let's say, advances from women, people hitting on
I thought I was good looking too.
That's why I said this is not in any way. I made my disclaimer very clear first. I
No,
said,
I think Anshul, right? Don't we tell everyone beauty is what beauty does? So I mean, how do you know? I'm very bad. My Hindi is very bad, but you know, the आईना भी झूठ बोल सकता है.
yeah, right,
Yeah. Yeah.
Beauty
So-
lies in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely. And I feel with Zayed, no one knows him better than me. Okay. No, I can't.
You know, the truth is that as an actor, your profession is about, like, you know, making truth lies, right?
True.
It's like almost what a lawyer does also sometimes
True.
in a courtroom. But there are some people you just can't, you know, kind of lie to, you know, and when she catches my lie, I just start smiling, and I start smiling and lying, because
Does
you
that
know,
make everything okay?
And I'll tell you something,
Does it
Anshul.
make everything okay when you smile?
nothing gets-
Nothing is ever okay.
high command.
I think Achal, since you are a life coach, I mean, you must have read somewhere that, you know, when you lie, your nose kind of flutters.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Twitches, and the corners of your mouth kind of make a certain, you know, and you just know it. So next time, guys, that's where you look at. Not what's coming out of the mouth, but the expressions on the face. Yeah.
So it just tells us a lot about you and how smart you are as a woman. Explains a lot of
Emotional
dynamics.
intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
Let's get away with it. Just say it's acting.
You know, Vishal, I could, but I won't.
30 साल बाद
That's,
I
30
won't
साल
want to.
बाद
But we still have that advantage.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about in terms of advantage.
Yeah.
This side has no advantage.
You know, it's better that way because there's more peace at home. Sometimes you just have to listen. You just have to keep quiet and listen. And even though you feel that you are right, you just at that time keep your mouth shut. And strangely, God will be with you because it'll all turn out right at the end. You know, so these are things that I don't think anybody can teach. You just experience it along the life.
you guys have hacked this very well. We have only one-sided conversations. So clearly you're doing something right.
I think we're just very honest people, aren't we?
True,
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
true, true. So also social media plays a very, not plays a role, but I think takes a toll on relationships. Hugely. Not just as celebrity couples, but even, you know, day-to-day couples. And what's your advice to people? You know, there's this whole chitter-chatter and conversation about how much is too much when you're liking random women and men's pictures, or you have unnecessary DMs, you just respond. Where do we draw the lines? What is okay? What is not okay? What is your advice to couples out there for this?
Firstly, get a private account so you can filter who you want on your account and
Correct.
not. And I don't have that problem because I barely follow any celebrity. My choice of social media is most of the times mentors, life coaches, right? I really have no idea what. I love Shah Rukh Khan because he's a dear friend of Zayed's, but I have really no idea what he does day to day. Nor do I know what any celebrity is doing because that's their personal choice, that's their personal life. The lesser you watch somebody else, the better you will feel. There's lots more on social media to see, more things that can better your mental health. Your everything. I mean, in life, I think you don't need to follow people. Follow a dream, follow yourself. I follow a lot of, because I'm into the world of interiors and furniture, I watch other people's curations, and that's what I'm engaging myself in, not so-called people who are just famous because they're Bollywood or they're Hollywood. They also have their mistakes, and behind their closed doors, no one really knows what they're going through. So don't fall for everything. Follow yourself.
So beautifully said.
You know, I definitely agree with Mali on a lot of levels, but there are two sides to this coin. Firstly, there was a time where the media used to be outside the room. Now the media is in the room.
True.
You can go to any event or a party or casual birthday at a friend's house, and you might be caught at an awkward moment and somebody's just taking a picture of you, and the next thing you know you're completely exposed. So it's imperative that one must understand the negatives and the advantages of social media. Firstly, I find it incredibly
Invasive.
no, I find it incredibly insensitive when people try to validate themselves over their social media account, that how great I am and look what I'm doing, look where I am, look what I bought, look where what holiday I'm on. There are a lot of people out there who are basically chasing it and can't afford it, and they are so hooked on to the dopamine of likes, the endorphins that release, when you see likes, that they go broke trying to make a social media lifestyle for themselves, which is not really organic in any way whatsoever. So it can destroy you. Uh, my thing with Mali is, I've always told my family, and we've always been a family that has understood values, like my kid Aris, for instance. You know, he plays basketball with a very good coach who's an NBA coach. At the same time, I make him go play basketball at the BMC with all the BMC kids, and he goes and takes coaching from the BMC kids coach as well. And I tell him, I said, Aris, you know, the spectrum of society is, one must understand how to be with the least common denominator in the most beautiful and sensitive way, and sit with kings and queens and dine with them and be your eloquent self at the same time. There should be no difference in who you are and how you perceive that. So how we post, I mean, I'm not a very big poster. I often try to post milestone events of my life, like something that's deeply moved me, or I've been in a moment where it's just been splendid. It's been such an amazing moment. It's been like a eureka moment for me. Or sometimes, yeah, there will be, you know, silly moments where old friends have come and, you know, we've cuddled together and we've said something silly and, you know, we made a moment out of it. But, you know, being ostentatious about showing your wealth and, you know, trying to prove to everybody this facade that really doesn't exist is honestly quite, it can be quite self-destructive.
True.
So my advice to my family is, you know, refrain from such things and always, you know, be happy for what you have and pray for courage to face another day and be cool, but don't be snobbish. Do not, you know, there are a lot of people out there that don't have a lot of what we don't have, and we must understand that sensitivity, that humanity must be installed into them. See, quite honestly, Achal, I'll tell you something. I don't think any one of us in this room knows what the future is right now. None of us, not even professors, not even like scientists, they all are guessing because AI is coming and it's going to change the world, but nobody knows how. And the world is changing so fast that you will be surprised. So my question to my child is, I don't ask him, what do you want to be when you grow up and what do you want to do when you grow up. I say to them, you are experiencing life right now. If there's one thing you want to change to make your future better, what would that be? And now's the time to make amends with it. So definitely having a skill, whether it's music, whether it's sport, whether it's, you know, mathematical, whatever it is very important, because going forward, it's going to be tough. And you know, there was first a race of Ivy League students. Now it doesn't even matter whether you're an Ivy League student or not, because even if you don't know encryption and you have a good imagination, you're just going to have to tell AI what your video game is going to look like, and it's going to make it. Yeah. So we are entering a brave new world, and I encourage them. So coming back to social media, I think we are very conservative about how we handle social media. And while I love my media friends, they are absolutely lovely. But of course, there has to be some distance,
Yeah.
for sanity.
I mean, it's